Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at the snow chances that look to arrive here as we get through tomorrow and Friday. We're going to start off looking outside for just a little bit. We'll look out at our Mount Pleasant camera there at Central Michigan University, just snow-covered ground. The cloud cover has been trying to roll in. This is an area that has been mostly overcast at times through the day, but I'm not counting out the sun sneaking in a few times. We look down to the south. This is downtown Flint, where you actually do see some blue skies there off into the distance. The sunshine shining right now, and then downtown Saginaw, very similar. Sun trying to peek through that cloud cover here as we enter the 2 o'clock hour, and I think we'll continue that trend of clouds and sunshine mixing through the remainder of our afternoon, may become more overcast as we get closer to sunset tonight. And Sky Tracker does show that. We are dry right now. We do see cloud cover rolling in from the northwest, but even areas up to the north, you're seeing some sunshine, and I think areas into the thumb, you're most likely seeing some sunshine here into the middle of the afternoon, and that will continue. I don't think it will, some areas it won't be till late tonight that you start to see that cloud cover start to build itself ahead of a snow chance. And let's talk about that snow chance. When we look at our hour by hour, it does show we're dry through the rest of our Wednesday afternoon into our Wednesday evening. As we roll into Thursday morning, we're still dry to start the day. It's going to be right around 9 a.m. that we start to see that snow chance arrive from the northwest. It will reach our northwest counties first again right around 9 a.m. along that 127 corridor, reaching the Tri-Cities area, that one around Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw as early as 10 to 11 a.m. Again, I'll highlight it's most likely not going to be the heaviest snow, but definitely consistent as you get out and about for your Thursday morning into your Thursday afternoon. Now, by about 3 p.m., that snow chance should be gone and will be dry for the remainder of our Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. And for most of Thursday night, it will be right around 4 a.m. Friday that we start to see our next chance of snow. This one becomes widespread again. Probably not going to be the heaviest, but consistent snowfall as you're waking up for your Friday morning. But by about noon, that snow chance should be out of the region, and we should be dry through the remainder of Friday, just seeing a few chances of lake effect snow wanting to develop through the afternoon. Then as we roll into the weekend, outside of a few isolated chances, Saturday looks like it should be a dry day there. When we look at our snowfall predictor potential, I should say, for, again, this is for noon Thursday all the way through noon Friday. So we are counting both days for now. We'll make a decision a little bit later this afternoon if we do want to sort of make two maps because we do sort of have two separate systems with this. Again, we have two rounds. First, midday Thursday, that will be probably about 1 inch to 2 inches. And then for Friday morning, it'll be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I think overall we're looking at 1 to 3 inches. There has been some trends that out to the west towards Isabella and Gratiot counties will be looking at a trace to 2 inches. We'll see how that develops. I do think by the afternoon for both rounds, 1 to 3 inches is most likely what we're going to see widespread across Michigan. But like I've mentioned before, we will have updates through the rest of this afternoon as we get more model runs. So you're going to want to tune in to our newscast this afternoon at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6. You can also tune into our late stream at right around 9 p.m. where TV5 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have more updates, and that adds another run of models that could give us sort of a good idea of what we're going to see with these two rounds of snow for Friday or for Thursday into Friday. But let's move back to today. We're looking at our temperatures right now. We have slowly warmed up here into the early afternoon. It's upper teens to the lower 20s. A few mid 20s have popped up. It's been Mount Pleasant leading the way today. at 26 degrees right now. Clare and Gladwin have been between 22 and 24 degrees. West Branch is at 23 right now. As you move down to the south and to the east, Bad Axe at 18, Saginaw at 19, and Flint at 17 degrees for our 2 o'clock hour. Wind has been relatively calm today, mostly out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I think that trend continues through the remainder of today. It will be tomorrow and Friday that we start to see our wind gusts start to increase. When we look at wind gusts, we're not really seeing much here in terms of that. Now, that combination of temperature and wind does still have some influence on our feels like temperatures. Right now, we do see a few single digits, but for the most part, mid to lower teens. So definitely still feeling cold out there if you do have to be outdoors through the remainder of the day. Luckily, with temperatures warming over the next couple of days, this won't be much of a factor. May become a factor again into the weekend as temperatures drop, but next week we actually trend back into the 30s, so that really helps us sort of move away from wind chills being a factor as we get out and about. Now, I did want to highlight the rest of our afternoon here. Temperatures staying in the 20s through about 5 to 6 p.m. We'll have cloud cover increasing beyond 4 p.m. and then again staying cloudy as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. So obviously, enjoy today with that sunshine before that snow chance that we do have for Thursday into Friday. And we do see that on our 3-day forecast. Snow chances both Thursday and Friday. Our warmest day definitely falling on Friday with temperatures in the lower 30s. And then we're back into the teens on Saturday. So that system, or those two systems, are going to pull in some colder air from the north. We'll see how low set up for both mornings. You can see single digits near 0 for Friday night into Saturday morning, and then mid-single digits for Saturday night into Sunday. So we just sort of get back into that cold pattern, at least for the weekend for now. But I do have to take a quick break. I don't see anything over in our chat. Once I come back from that break, we'll be taking a look more at temperatures for the next couple of days and another look at that snow chance, plus a preview into next week. So don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for the second half of our First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me. We're going to start off the second half looking at our lows for tonight. We are going to be cold. We're going to continue that trend. It is February, single digits for areas along the bay there into the thumb, and then north of the bay. As you move to the west southwest, you do get some of those lower teens. We'll see how far you do end up dropping as we get into tonight into tomorrow morning. Most areas still below that average mark, average right around 15 degrees. Our highs for tomorrow are going to be back into the mid to upper 20s. Just sort of what we continue to see as we get over the next couple of days. And because as we get into Friday, and actually let me see if I can get the right graphic here. That is not what I wanted, or I put a double on accident. This is highs for Friday. We're actually seeing temperatures back into the mid to lower 30s. So one of the warmest days we've had. We're on an 18-day streak right now of temperatures below freezing. So Friday finally looks to beat that streak, especially here in Saginaw and Flint. And I think most areas end up beating their streak of days being below freezing. That's always a good thing. And it does look like that streak won't really grow anymore, at least through the next 7 days. The weekend will be cold, but then it looks like we're back into the 30s for next week. Now let's look at our snow chances again, because this is important for many that have travel plans or maybe just want to get outside here for the next couple of days. Hour by hour shows we're dry today. You may see a flake or two, but I think it's a pretty small chance through the remainder of our afternoon. The biggest thing is cloud cover increasing as we get through tonight. By about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning is when we start to see our next chance of snow, and this will be the first round of what looks to be 2 rounds of snow for Thursday into Friday. This snow chance will reach areas like Gladwin, Clare, Holton Lake, Mount Pleasant. Again at 9 a.m. reaching the Tri-Cities. By about 10 a.m. spreading out towards southern Saginaw and Genesee County through about midday. I think the question for this first round will be how far east does it travel? There's been some models where it doesn't get really farther than the Bay. I'm not going to count out some snow into Huron, Tuscola, and Sanilac counties, but you may end up getting a little bit luckier with this first round of snow as it moves in right around midday Thursday. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it doesn't appear to be the heaviest snowfall, but consistency will be the key for this snow for Thursday, helping us get those accumulations. I think by about 3 p.m., most of that morning snow chance should be gone. We'll be dry through the remainder of our Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. And then Friday morning, we start our next round of snow. That will start up right around 2 to 3 a.m., especially along that 127 corridor into Gladwin. Midland could see it as early as 3 a.m., reaching Bay City and Saginaw around 4 a.m., and then Flint by about 4 to 5 a.m. I think the second round snow has showed more potential of reaching our eastern counties in the thumb, including Bad Axe, getting that snow chance Sandusky. We'll see how quickly it does reach you. This snow chance, though, looks to move out a little bit quicker Friday. By noon, you might be just looking at overcast skies. There will still probably be some light snow. Models don't pick up some of that lower altitude snow, but it is there. You may end up seeing some lake effect snow through the remainder of Friday afternoon, but by Saturday it will be mostly on the drier side, just some lake effect snow. Your snow potential for these 2 rounds. Right now we are including one map for both rounds of snow. So we do have that highlighted in the left corner. That first round, we're putting Thursday PM right now. It's going to be right around Thursday midday. We could see 1 inch to 2 inches of snow. I think 2 inches is getting high for that first round, but there definitely could be some areas. And then that second round for Friday morning, 1 to 1.5 inch. So for now, it continues to show 1 to 3 inches of snow for both of those rounds. So I know we had a question how much snow for Gladwin on Thursday. Again, I think that 1 to 2 inch mark, and then getting up to 1 to 3 as we get through both rounds of snow. So again, this map is highlighting both rounds of snow, 1 to 3 inches. For most of mid-Michigan, there's been one trend we've been noticing. We'll see how this develops here over the next couple of hours, but it's towards Isabella and Gratiot counties being a trace to 2. Models have just been a little bit lighter for those areas. Again, we'll see how that develops through the remainder of today. I think models may come back around to most areas being at that 1 to 3 inch mark for noon Thursday into noon Friday. Because there are accumulations, I did want to quickly highlight our road conditions for Thursday into Friday. So Thursday night, be prepared for snowy roads. That will cause slowdowns. It could cause delays. So if you have travel plans for late Thursday, just plan accordingly. Thursday night into Friday morning, we continue to see those slick spots, but there will be some improvement. Once we start to see that second round of snow Friday morning, that's where we start to see more slowdowns and more delays. So obviously, if you're taking the kids to school on Friday morning or you're heading off to work, just be prepared for that. There will be some slick spots that do form in areas that see consistent snowfall. Another add-on for this system I do want to quickly talk about is the wind. It really has been pretty calm throughout much of this week, but there has been signals over the last week or so that wind will increase. This is as early as 7 a.m. tomorrow, seeing forecasted gusts at 5 to 15 miles per hour from the south. As we get into Thursday afternoon, winds are starting to pick up a little bit more. This is 3 p.m. Thursday, wind from the south-southwest at 15 to 30 miles per hour. So that is going to be enough. Areas that do see some light accumulations, I'm not going to count out some blowing snow. So if you do have travel, you come across an open field, if we can get those strong enough gusts throughout the afternoon, do be prepared for blowing snow and reduced visibilities. It does try to calm down just a little bit late Thursday night, but by the time we get into Friday afternoon, this is 2 p.m., wind from the north-northwest at, let's say, 15 to 30, eventually becoming 20 to 40, possibly 45 miles per hour. So a breezy end of the week. Blowing snow, I think, does become a concern, especially Friday afternoon into Friday evening as reduced visibilities start to show up for many. So just be prepared for that if you do have travel plans on Friday. And then by the time we enter the weekend, it does look like wind will start to calm down. I think it does stay breezy, though, for both Saturday and then possibly Sunday. Before we end the stream here, I did want to take a look outwards towards the future. First off, I wanted to highlight, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, we've had 18 days in a row where temperatures have been below freezing. So the last time both Saginaw and Flint, really the Tri-Cities area, I should say, and Flint, saw a day above 32 degrees was on January 17th. So we're getting there at 18 days. Luckily, that streak looks to end by Friday. And then actually next week looks to be on the warmer side. So the Climate Prediction Center does issue their outlooks for the next week on Wednesday mornings. Here's your precipitation outlook. So Michigan has continued to sit in the sort of higher probabilities of seeing more chances of precipitation. It does look like we'll have snow chances. We'll see how that develops. I think midweek may be something we have to look at. And then the end of the week will also be a few days there that there's been some long-term models highlighting some chances of precipitation. We'll see how temperatures set up for those days. And then as we look at our temperature outlook for next week, this is something that I think many of us will be happy to see. The Climate Prediction Center is highlighting most of the country showing higher probabilities of being warmer than average as we get through next week. So almost all of Michigan is included in that. Average starts to get back into the lower 30s. It does look like we'll sit in the 30s for next week. If you have travel plans anywhere through the sort of central portions of the United States, looks like you'll be above average. A good change compared to what we've been seeing. And before we get to the end of the stream, I do want to look at our 7-day forecast. Like I mentioned, we are going to break that streak of below freezing temperatures on Friday, as many areas will be back into the mid-30s. We do have a short cool down for the weekend as colder air follows those snow chances, and then we're back into the 20s and 30s by mid next week. But obviously something we'll have to watch out for as temperatures get back near that freezing mark is we start to add more chances of possible freezing rain, just because we're going to be sitting at sort of different temperature ranges throughout the atmosphere. We may end up being colder as we move up aloft, but still have that warm air. So freezing rain, definitely a possibility as we get back into the 30s. Still early though. Things are definitely going to change between now and even this weekend. So that's something your TV5 First Alert Weather team will be watching here over the next couple of days. But I don't see any more questions or any questions in our chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, go check out our website at WNEM.com. There you can catch more from our sports, news, and weather teams. You catch our weather tab there where you can get more updates from the TV5 First Alert Weather team. You can also catch our newscast this afternoon at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6. You can also tune into our next First Alert Weather live stream that goes on right around 9 p.m. where TV5 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will be in with more updates on the snow chances for the next couple of days. But with that, I'm going to end the stream here. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Stay dry, stay warm, and stay safe.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.